mad, or a madman. A madman. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This fits my description. I'm a madman. I ain't mad the way you think I'm mad. Let's take the acronym MAD. Man. Motivated. M. Motivated. A. Adamant. And D. Determined. All right. Something needs to drop when you're dealing with stuff like this. Something needs to drop. I just hope y'all wasn't on that camera when y'all dropping this stuff. Now, here we go. A madman. Now, if a man is mad, we got to talk about something that accommodates a madman. Now, so far, we only found an asylum. Simply because madmen are misunderstood. You don't understand that nobody's going to give you nothing. That's called welfare, which you never fare well. You don't understand. Being mad means I'm fed up, but I'm fed up first with me. Now, if God is going to get the best out of me, then I got to stop looking for self-interest and start trusting somebody with my interest. I mean, come on now. You ain't did that well at it. Now, if you ain't did such a good job at your self-interest, it's time to let somebody else do something. And any one of y'all that say you have handled your life well, you are a liar and the truth ain't in you. I've been fairly successful at 2 careers. And I've been 50% disastrous in both of them. Now you tell me how you doing better. Yeah. All right. Now let's get down to the gravy. Let's get down to the oxtails on this whole thing. There is something we don't like to talk about. Let's talk about first, before I get into this, I really need to instill something in you that may paralyze you. This may cripple you. It's going to definitely stunt your growth. How many of you believe that black people are just naturally good dancers? Good basketball players? Come on. So you believe we got pretty good choreography, right? And that's all we got. We have no reality with the choreography. There's a choreography of life that we can't seem to get over because we can't get over ourselves. We're always looking for the easy way, welfare. We're always trying to make the NBA and we can't. Try to make the NFL and we can't. Always trying to make something that goes inside with our cardinal attributes. But we never experienced nor even dove into the choreography of life. We have never instituted ourselves into the choreography of life that will cause us to say, you know what? We're considering other people. What we're about is trying to make money. I mean some of you white folks too. And when I say white folks, I mean you Germans. Y'all white. I ain't missing nobody. If you get offended, you free to leave. I ain't gonna stop talking. Oh, the heat's up. The choreography of life. We can twist and contort ourselves to make a basket. We can leap and flip to make a touchdown. But when have we ever spiked the ball for the touchdown of life? Those of us who don't have good dancing skills or prancing skills or shucking skills, does that mean you're not good at anything? Simply because you're not athletic? It seems to me that you're constantly robbing yourself, but you want to blame the white man. You want to blame life. Huh? You put yourself in the place of white trash simply because you don't keep up with the rest of the white people. And if you'll look and be unafraid, to be honest, you'll find that the treasure that is buried is the one you buried within yourself. And the problem is, not that you're not fed up, you don't know how to be fed up. You don't know how to be fed up without giving up. You got to figure out how to be fed up and get up. When the going gets rough, the rough don't get going, the rough get to thinking. Why is it rough? Why is it always rough? Why is everything always happening? Why is everything happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? How many of y'all done asked yourself, why does this keep happening to me? Because you ain't never changed your doggone attitude. That's why it keep happening to you. You keep the same attitude, the same association, the same old ignorant people around you, and you won't even change your association, and you ain't even strong enough to break away from them. You just keep on, woe is me. Woe is me. And then, you know, it ain't you. All of us had to make a decision at one point or another to defecate and sit in it or to get up and do something. Every one of us had to make that decision. And you're deciding what you want to do. And there is no amount of cheerleading that's going to make you get up. There's no amount of encouragement externally if it has not a destination internally that's going to cause you to do anything. There's none. None. And not only are you wasting your time, but you're wasting everybody's time that believe in you. Now you're going to get mad, it only means you're stupid. Because you know I'm telling you the truth. Disappointment. How many of y'all are disappointed in yourselves? How many of y'all have disappointed people? Well, that's an earned thing. You earned that disappointment. It didn't just come by accident. If you would have apologized and got up immediately, people wouldn't have been disappointed in you. If you'd have fallen and got up immediately, people wouldn't be disappointed in you. But now you want to sit there and wait on somebody to pick you up, and when they try to pick you up, you give them the full weight of you without even standing up on your own legs. That disappointment is earned. You have to make a decision to get up. And then the weight of you getting up will be less. At least if you give somebody 50% of help, they got 50% of the problem you got. But instead, you'd rather pull somebody else down with your sad story. Don't nobody want to hear your sad story. We all got a sad story. We all got disappointment. We all got problems. It just don't stop us. Why? Why is it stopping you? Why what didn't stop me is stopping you? Why my disappointment in you, I'm expected to keep going, but you only expect of yourself to stop, to quit, to just sit there and stink and won't even take care of yourself because people trying to depend on you, but because you've been told you was going the wrong direction, you just quit. Well, I just won't say nothing then. You know, you really need just... Good job. I don't know what's going to get some sense into you. Because when you block yourself off from wisdom, you have blocked yourself off from life. Amen. Wisdom is life. Amen. And when you block yourself off from wisdom, you block yourself off from life. Amen. Yes, sir. I may be the only person you may ever meet. Your husband, your wife may not even be wishing you the success that I am wishing you. Your mom or your dad may not even have the capacity to wish you the success that I'm wishing you. I don't have no problem with you succeeding. Because when you succeed, I succeed. But I'm sitting there trying to figure out, what is your problem? And you're sitting there looking at me like, this is a madman. You're right. These are the parents I just had to cover before I get into this. Intermediate contact. How are things going? How are things going with you? Well, it's your intermediate contact. If you feel better about yourself, it's your intermediate contact. If you don't feel like you fit in, it's your intermediate contact. These are the circle of friends you have chosen. Not people that's going to tell you about yourself, but people who make you feel good about doing nothing. Are you worth marrying? You're going to admire any man you want to. You have the right to do that. But are you fit to connect? Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all better strap in now. Who in the world that's got something going on want to marry a problem? That ginger neutral too. But a man started. I got quiet then. When he's not able to think of something, he expects her to be able to think of something instead of always saying, I don't know. Man, how did you end up with a woman like that? And you expect to do something. I mean, Naomi wasn't even married to this woman. She was just in there making his bed while he was talking out loud and ranting. And she told him, if the prophet would have told you to do something simple, would you have done it? I mean, complicated, when you'd have done it. But he told you to go down there and go to the Jordan. And if you want to be healed, you take your tail down there and get in the Jordan. You know, you sitting there trying to tell him the rivers you prefer, and he told you the one to go to. Jesus, man. Preference. You are preferring to be in the predicament you're in. I know you don't understand what I just said to you. You are preferring to be where you are. Think about if you stop preferring and be obedient. You think about where you can excel to. But I know what it is. You want to be smart. You want the credit for getting where you got to get. Verse 27 through 31. And he that searches the heart knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Now, whatever you're going through, whatever you've gone through, whatever you refuse to get over, it was working together for good, and you personalized it. It was working together to shape you, but now you took it personal. And you decided to use it as a crutch. You decided to use it as an opportunity. You decided to use it as an embezzlement. And now not even the Word of God can deliver you, because you have built a house on sinking sand. An emotion that was so fictitious that it does not create a reality for you. It is an alternate reality that you keep on trying to live through, live by. Sin is not taking you anywhere, because everybody's passing you up. And all it inspires is jealousy and envy. You can't even face the truth because of the alternate reality that you live in. Now, verse 29, I think, brings the indictment. For whom he did foreknow. How many of y'all know that God knew you before you knew you? All right, for whom he foreknew, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son. That means you were supposed to get with Jesus. I'm going to make this common for you. You were supposed to get with Jesus. Now, you done got here where you're supposed to be. This is the way it's supposed to be. You know, it's amazing how we got that pose. Now, you where you're supposed to be, but you won't act like you're supposed to do. Huh? That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. That you could lead the way. Through the confirmation of other people, you could be the transforming interest of heaven as a sentinel that holds up. You are a pillar of the truth that holds up Solomon's porch for others to walk in the shade of the refreshing. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to sit back and keep on waiting on somebody else to drag your tail through the desert when everybody knows you have the capabilities of walking yourself. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. Many are called, but few are chosen. That don't mean you're chosen because you're called. Ain't nobody got to keep on calling you. Some of y'all on your last call. Now you need to figure out tonight how you go act. The day that you hear my voice, harden not your heart. Time running out. Oh, this is hard, ain't it? Well, it's going. I got to put it in Technicolor tonight. Y'all better stop feeling sorry for yourself. All of us could have felt sorry for myself. A year ago, I buried my sister. I mean, I took the doggone funeral and everybody was screaming and hollering and shouting and everything by the time I got through, even the biggest sinners in the church. And I know they were sinners because I knew them all my life. But they was hollering hallelujah. Because I'm not going to be sad about nothing. I don't regret nothing that I've had to go through. I've been shot, stabbed, cut, operated on, which is cut. Anyway, so don't feel like coming here. Don't feel like dealing with you, but I did it. You know why? Because my God asked me to. That's the only reason I dealt with you, because God told me to. I'm like, God, just let me get this gun and kill him. Neither one of us have to deal with him no more. He was like, you can convert him, Ron. Son, you can convert him. He's like, I'm doing all I can. You can convert him. Every time I just want to give up on you. Lord, let me give him rat pardon. You can convert him. Lord, let me take that number one spark plug and some haywire. I just hook it and run it right back to the gas tank and tell them it's going to make the car go fast. And as soon as they hit that button, they're going to go fast, all right. See, the problem is knowing how to do the wrong and being compelled to do right by God. Knowing how to do wrong and being compelled to do right. That don't mean you go out and hook nobody's spark plug up either. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we say then? What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Now, God is for you. Do you know who can be against you? You. There is no external question for who can be against you. The internal question is, are you for you? If God be for you, who can be against you? You. You. There must first be a willing mind. And if there's not a willing mind, then you sit there and you sulk. You can stay in the toilet stool all you want to. God can't pull you out unless you want to come out. Amen. Because it would be a violation of Genesis 1:26 and 27. Let them have dominion.
Come on now.
You have dominion. If you don't want to get up, you won't.
Amen.
If you want to get up, you will.
Amen.
Everybody has to make that decision. You ain't no anomaly. You're not nobody special. Stop acting like it. Everybody's got to rush to your side to keep encouraging you. What God has called us to do, he has empowered us to do it. That's a problem. That's a problem. If you got an idea and want to pursue it, you in sin. You are in sin. Ain't no other way to put it. I don't care if you didn't like the preacher, you've been empowered. You were put there, you might as well set your donkey down and stay there. The only reason you don't like that preacher is because he's messing with your comfort zone. You know what's wrong with the preacher? Oh, well, he sinned. Well, he did that. You know why he did that? Because he took some of your sins and didn't handle it right. But you know what? He was a good man because he got your tail. And he didn't argue with God about you being a member. And he's compassed about with sin. The Bible already made provision for him, but it didn't make no provision for you being disobedient. Oh, man, I told you I was going to rip it open tonight. I'm going to gut this thing like a hog, and I'm getting the chitlins out of it. To be motivated requires keeping one's eye on the goal at hand. To be motivated, you're keeping your eye on the previous goal at hand. Not taking you off the prize. To be adamant. You have to function to the standard, even in loss or disappointment. You still have to maintain a standard. You may have to go and cry, but then you got to take a break from crying and come back and produce. To be determined means that you will not be deterred by a better deal. Whatever God gave you, there is no better deal. You know, God told Jesus, I want you to go up in the wilderness, and I want you to fast for 40 days. That was a better deal came along. How many of y'all know that? If Jesus got a better deal came along and he didn't take it, what do you think he expects for you to do? Except you, take up your cross and follow me. You cannot be my disciple. You're always going to get a better deal when you're hungry for something. You're hungry for a better life, but you ain't willing to starve on this one.
All right, come on now.
How do we starve? We starve ourselves out from our impulses. We starve ourselves out from what we desire to do. We starve ourselves out from being, and when I say impulses, that means you're willing to take another route. You're willing to take suggestions from jokers ain't doing no better than you. You look around, somebody telling you how to straighten your hair and they hair nappy. Telling you what kind of car they get, and they ain't got but 2 wheels on this and one front wheel drive. They wouldn't even have no way to get nowhere. They got a half a doggone car. They're telling you what you ought to be driving. Oh, this kind of car I like. Well, why you ain't got it? You've been empowered. If you can see it, you can do it. But see, the problem is if we can see it, we just refuse to believe it. When God gives a man a vision, it is not for him. It is for them. A vision is for a group of people. It's not for an individual. And a man, if he's not willing to share it but try to profit on his own idea, then he is not fit for the kingdom of heaven. He that putteth his hand to the plow, looking back at himself, is not fit for the kingdom. People that want to advance, they have to lead you to advance. Amen. If you don't want to advance, don't mess with nobody that's advancing. Amen. Stay away from them like a plague. Because you ain't going to be with them long. You can admire them. You can appreciate them. You can be awestruck with them. But they got somewhere to go because they was going before you met them. Now, if you think that they're going to slow down for you, you are desperately wrong if they are God's employer or employee. If they're God's employee, there's no way they're going to slow down for you. If they're in it for the right reason, they're not going to slow down for you. They will lose you before they start running for God. Don't become a victim of the anointing. You know, we are all bound by an oath. Men provide, women obey. And in order for both of those to work out right, both people have to understand their obligations that they give to each other. Those obligations were made at this altar. They are sacred. That's why you consider long and hard who you're going to give an obligation to. Because many times, if it doesn't work out, somebody violated the oath. So we men have to learn to be inclusive. To be a leader, you have to become bilingual. You have to. Does it bother you that your husband don't speak your language? Does it bother you that your significant other doesn't speak your language? Does it bother you that you don't speak their language? But what I'm saying is, if we start understanding how to communicate, you know, people often say, our problem in our marriage is communication. Yeah, because you ain't bothered to learn each other's language. And there's some men that speak enough woman to get a wife, but don't speak enough woman to understand her. But ladies, I congratulate you. But heed the warnings that came out, because these warnings are actualities. Gentlemen, heed the warnings that came out. There's an unspoken truth that was spoken tonight. It was spoken. Now, you can be in denial all you want to, but there was an unspoken truth spoken tonight. And if you don't take heed to it, you may be left with the short end of the stick.
At Life Changes New Horizon, we'd like to thank you for joining us to hear and receive a phenomenal word from God. Please visit our website to order the message you just enjoyed or choose from thousands of sermons available for purchase. You can order this revelatory teaching on cassette, CD, or DVD. For more information on Life Changers Ministries, go to www.lifechangersmi.com or call 1-877-524-9673. Life Changers. We are shining the light all around the world.